Hi, I'm Mia, and welcome to this edition of The Pipeline, where we are refining the news that is important to you. It looks like the first U.S. wind farm might be making its way to Texas. 5 miles off the coast of South Padre Island lays the beginning of the Gulf Offshore Wind Project, which developers like to refer to by the optimistic acronym GO Wind. In 3 years' time, the Go Wind team is hoping to have the nation's first commercial-scale wind farm installed and eventually generating enough power for 1.8 million homes. Offshore wind power has taken off in countries like Denmark and Japan, but the U.S. has yet to get past the starting line. Apparently, price remains the biggest hurdle for offshore wind development in the United States, where government subsidies are a fraction of those in Europe. The lure of the Gulf was clear from the beginning. Shallow waters make construction easier than Pacific and Atlantic Ocean projects, where developers sometimes resort to floating turbines. And the presence of the offshore oil industry meant there was a ready supply of metal fabricators ready to go. In May, federal officials will announce 3 projects that get full funding of $47 million. Developers will have to pick up the rest. In the meantime, Go Wind will need to prove not only its financials, but that the more than 600-foot tall wind turbines will not have a negative impact on the maritime ecology. Right now, the Go Wind team is trying to line up a deal for someone to buy the power, get estimates on undersea cables, and a litany of tasks before their application is due in February.
It seems that fracking has seen a widespread support in a new poll. More than half of people in a new survey support hydraulic fracturing, even in the towns where they live. 56% of people with an opinion about fracking support the process, according to a survey released Monday by the Robert Morris University Polling Institute, and 44% of those polled were against fracking. After receiving a balanced presentation from energy and environmental groups, 42% strongly supported fracking, 33% were against it either somewhat or strongly, and 25% were undecided. Fracking supporters noted that fracking can help the United States gain energy independence and boost the economy, but anti-fracking advocates were concerned about the environmental cost of drilling. The RMU survey polled 1,001 adults. Tony Kurzman, who is the assistant professor of engineering at RMU, said that it is interesting that a majority is in support of fracking when just 3 years ago there was such a staunch opposition to fracking by many environmental groups. Kurzman said that now some environmental groups are working with oil and gas companies as the regions have experienced minimal environmental problems.
We have some great news in the Bakken today. The Bakken Shale play is about to join the Million a Day Club. This hot spot in the U.S. oil boom is about to take on million barrels of crude a day, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. The EIA says oil companies in the Bakken will reach a million barrel milestone in December, up from an estimated 976,000 barrels in November. Drillers are spending about $16 billion in the Bakken this year, according to the research firm Wood Mackenzie. Another U.S. oil field, the Eagle Ford Shale in South Texas, hit the million barrels a day milestone in May of this year, according to the EIA data. The Permian Basin, which has been the foundation for U.S. oil production for decades, got there in May of 2011. Now that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching. And remember, we're drilling only for the relevant news and bringing it right to you through the pipeline.